It's the morning after Christmas. All of the gifts have been unwrapped. Most of the remnants of Christmas morning brunch have been cleared away. We've packed our bags and we are dashing out the door, having barely left enough time to make our ferry crossing. What began as an unlikely suggestion a few years ago has quickly become one of our favorite Christmas traditions, meeting my husband's family halfway for Christmas. Halfway could be anywhere in Quebec, in Maine, in New Hampshire, but this year his parents have rented a cozy little beach cottage right on the water, about 45 minutes outside of Boston. Because we only have one weekend together, there isn't a lot of time to go and explore many different places. But there's always an afternoon that we all pile in the car and find somewhere to go and explore. And this year, being so close to Boston, it was obvious that that was the place we needed to spend the day. On Chestnut Street, up the road from the bakery and beside the antique shop, is Beacon Hill Books and Cafe. Housed in a historic brownstone, with its namesake cafe in the basement and its tiny courtyard behind that you can access by ducking down a narrow tunnel, is the most charming bookshop I've ever set foot into. Up the 6 steps, past its tiny mouse door, there are 3 exquisitely designed floors of books, each level housing a different department. It's busy and slightly cramped, but it only adds to the character. And this time visiting was particularly special, as everything was decked for Christmas. There were tables full of baskets of the most beautiful Christmas ornaments, and I had hoped that this would be the case because it has also become tradition to pick out a Christmas ornament from this trip. It's something I have to tuck away and it doesn't get put on the tree until the following year, but it's always fun to see what ornament ends up coming home with me. Up the staircase, on the 2nd floor, you can find a little room off to the side with floor-to-ceiling bookshelves, all housing the most beautiful coffee table books. This time, there was a book by Carol Bamford, Daylesford Living, that was particularly beautiful. When you travel up one more flight of stairs, you arrive at the children's department. You're welcomed by a fireplace with cozy, slightly smaller scale furniture and a tea set out. There's a train that travels around the top of the room, and it's 2 sections full of all of the children's classics. There's even a tiny little mouse's home tucked away in the one cupboard. When you look outside, you see down into the courtyard, which is tiny but so full of charm. From here, we made our way up to the historic Acorn Street, the quintessential street with the cobblestones that you see in all of the photos. So many of the homes were decorated for Christmas. The window boxes were overflowing with greens. There were beautiful wreaths on so many of the doors and gorgeous swags full of fruit and berries. The entranceways are my most favorite part of this area. I love the historic door knockers and all of the different simple but tasteful designs that they pick. From there, we wandered back out to Chestnut Street, and we browsed in the windows of some of the different boutique shops. We made our way over to Tatte Bakery. Tatte, like latte, is a wonderful little bake shop that has so many delicious things to enjoy. We grabbed a few things to bring with us, because from there we were heading to the Boston Commons. With our hot chocolates in hand and our bag of goodies, we made our way to the Boston Common to the frog pond. We had intended to go skating. We brought everything with us, but it was a little busy and we decided to find something a little closer to where we were staying that gave the boys a little more room to skate around. Instead, we crossed the road and decided to wander through the historic gardens. Having wandered through the gardens, over the bridge, past the statue of Washington, we found ourselves on the other side of the gardens. From here, we left and wandered up and down some of the extra wide streets, all lined with the most beautiful but slightly elaborate brownstone homes. With their beautiful walk-ups, their little courtyards, and all of their displays for Christmas, it was quite a feast for the eyes. There were some lovely historic churches on the corner and some cozy little back alleyways that are just as lovely to wander up and down. From there, we made our way back towards the gardens. We got back in the car and we made our way outside the city and towards home. I know there are so many interesting parts of this city to explore, but I just can never seem to get over the neighborhood of Beacon Hill. It has everything I love in a place to wander about. Beautiful old brownstones with glossy front doors and overflowing window boxes. It has charming shops and quaint cafes. There are cobblestone streets and gas lanterns and copper eaves. All of it is just a short walk away from the historic gardens. Years ago, we did a harbor tour on an old boat, which was wonderful. And one day, I will return and see my first Monet at the Fine Arts Museum, and wander the stone halls of the Athenaeum, and ramble about the grounds of Harvard. But for now, this little part of Boston, Beacon Hill, is my favorite place to spend the day. Once outside of the city, we decided to take the slow coastal way home. It was a beautiful drive through some cozy towns along the water. And from there, we decided to make a stop and drive through Salem. The next morning was Sunday. We got up and as a family attended a service at the historic Baptist church nearby. From there, on the way home, I decided to stop by one of the local antique shops. We were greeted by the friendliest dog, and there was the most beautiful green cabinet that I would have loved to bring home for my kitchen. Instead, I settled for an old gilt mirror and a copper pot. The town of Newburyport was so much more beautiful than what I expected. We had never been through it, and I wasn't entirely sure what to expect. There was a mill pond that had frozen over with a fountain in the middle, and it had been cleared so that people could go skating. It was the perfect place to drop the boys off so that they could skate, while us girls climbed the steps and wandered into town. Because it was in the evening, many of the stores were closing, but it was still so lovely just to wander up and down the streets. There was a beautiful old inn, the Clark Courier Inn, that was probably my favorite home of all the ones that we had passed. There was just something about the beautiful old white building with the lovely wreath on the door and the Christmas tree in the window that was just postcard picture perfect. In fact, that is probably what I would use to describe the whole town, from the skating on the pond to the beautiful old shops to the grand old homes. It really was a postcard perfect town. The original plan had been to wake up early, drive to New Brunswick so that we could catch the ferry back to Nova Scotia. But really heavy winds had canceled the ferry, and an ice storm that had arrived overnight meant that we had a very, very long drive back ahead of us. In this situation, there was nothing we could do except say our goodbyes and a prayer and make our way back home. It's at this point in the trip that we begin questioning the wisdom of making such a trip at this time of year. It is a long way to go for such a short amount of time. But just like every other year, no matter what it's like when we're returning home, it is always worth the drive there. We don't know how many Christmases we have left with his parents and with our children home that we're able to all get together and spend a few days, just us. And so as long as we are able to make it, as long as we're able to get together and to enjoy this time, we plan to enjoy it. Maybe next year the tradition will change and the circumstances will be different. But for now, it was worth the journey